I still, yeah.
And I believe we are now live. Welcome to this Rover Kid stream, and happy May the 4th. I'm here with Jonathan.
Hey guys, we're here for some Star Wars shenanigans. In honor of this special day, we thought that we would play Holochess, or as it's known in the Outer Rim, Dejarik. I'm not sure 100% how you pronounce that, because I don't think they actually say it in any of the movies. I don't know if they say it in any of the spin-offs that have dialogue in them. But this is a copy of the game you can see officially licensed that I picked up at Disney World. You can get it at Disneyland too. Anywhere there's a Galaxy's Edge. Well, you can't get it now. Don't try to go there now to pick it up.
A real shame because only for this week will they have the hologram version available. So looks like no one's gonna get it.
Yeah, really, probably very bad planning on their part. I don't know why they did that. If you've seen the movies, then you know this is the game that they play on the Millennium Falcon with holograms, but we have actual pieces, and it's pretty simple. I mean, basically it is checkers, but each of these pieces sort of has a chess-like move. So, and they move and attack in their own special way. And I'm sure I know I'm going to be struggling at the start to remember the names of the pieces and how they move and things like that, but it's our first time playing it, so we'll see how it actually works as a game.
Yes, in case anyone's curious, each side has 4 different pieces. They may look like different species, but they can be broken down into 4 classes. That's a Brute, Predator, Guardian, and Scout. Obviously, they're all different alien species, which I will not try to pronounce here. I'll leave that to Jonathan.
I'll be saying them. But you can go ahead, there's a link in the description, or you can go to rollforcrit.com/Star Wars, and we put up a picture of just the reference sheet that comes with it, so if you want to try to follow along with the game and figure out which pieces do what, you can look there.
Now, unfortunately, according to the rules, the youngest player goes first, and that's me. So,
that sounds good to me.
yeah, really, really disappointed in that. So,
About that.
I'm going to start. Yes, I want to make sure that was right. And move my Scout, which is my grr. There's no vowel.
Yeah, the
Gugh. And he's going to hop over here.
Wow, okay, you made a decision very, very quickly.
Yes, I realized if I do that, that'll actually be more advantageous for me.
You're correct. Okay, so we can move any of these forward. You must move on your turn or attack. However, the Predator can move. Or is the Predator? No, the Scout can move and attack, right? Which one? One of them can do both on the same turn.
I believe it is the Scout, yeah. Can attack before or after moving, but can only attack once.
The Scout, got it. All right, so let's see. And you can see also they're different. I don't know, hopefully you can tell a little bit that there's different colored bases. So I'm the red team over starting on my side, and Will is on the blue team. Which is that our, don't we have red and blue on our old business cards? There's one of us red and one of us is blue.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know if you matched it up right. All right, doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and let's see what you moved the Scout, right?
I did move the Scout.
Which makes sense because they're the Scouts and they can move a little bit better. I'll move the Predator, which is my Ngok, and they can also move 2 tiles to the left or right. I am going to move my Predator. Can you just point to which one is my Ngok, please?
That would be this fella right here.
That one right there. And now we're establishing that they cannot jump over other pieces, except for the Predator is the only one that can do it, correct?
That's what, at least what I got from the rules.
Yeah.
This is your game.
Yes, well, it's been in your possession for months now.
Yeah, it was on the set, and we thought we'd be actually reviewing this. So maybe we'll give like a small review, not a full-on crit misses kind of thing, but quick thoughts afterwards.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure we'll be commenting on it as we go. But I just want to be clear. Okay, so the Predator. Some of these rules are vague, I know, because this game was kind of, I think, designed more as a display piece, a collectible, than it was a game. So I will move my Predator 2 spaces to its right.
So right here?
Right there.
All right. I will then look at my board, and I think what I'm going to do is move my brute back.
Okay, because brutes, yeah, okay. All right, interesting. Now, I see where this is going. Is that? That's my predator in the back there, right?
That would be your guardian. This is your guardian.
Oh, that's my guardian.
This,
Predator starts
yeah, sorry. This is your scout, and this is your brute. By the way, this the creature I just moved was my Mantelian Savrip.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. That's a great name, Savrip. Richard Saunders said, "Let the Wookiee win."
So by the thumbnail, that means me, right?
That's true.
But
Unfortunately,
if I recall from Rise of the Skywalker, that also means I'm cheating. I believe they say he's cheating when they play with him.
blocked out. So I couldn't tell you. But I was just gonna say it's a good thing we're playing remotely because no arms can be ripped off. There's no danger of that. All right, so I know that the brute can flip sides in this game. So I can see that my guardian is in danger. So I'm gonna take my monarch and.
I'm sorry. Maybe I misunderstood the flipping when we were talking. I thought the flipping would be here.
Oh, maybe you're right. I was looking at it as more as like a. Oh, huh.
I just in my head I just went diagonally. So now I'm a little worried. I'm like, what did I? Because I can see your logic too.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What's in their diagram? One tile forward.
The one directly across from it.
Was going off the board to the other side. Okay, so I think your interpretation is correct. I was looking at it as like it was cut in half in the middle, but it's the line in the center is misleading.
Yeah.
It's not actually the center. They're dividing it by color, which is probably an easier way to remember it anyway. Okay, so I guess he's not as much. He's still a little bit in danger. I'm still gonna move him. Does your scout also attacks on 2? Right? Oh no, it's only 1 square. All right, so I'll move my guardian 1 to its left anyway. Still go with the original plan.
All right. Let me just make sure where your guardian can attack. All right. So what I'm going to do then is look at this chart again, and I want to make sure what I'm thinking is legal.
I should realize by now it's difficult for me to try to look at what can go where. I'm never going to keep it straight.
I'm just like I'm pretty sure I'm within attack range of your guy, but the question is, can my scout attack back? I gotta because he's like he can move twice.
Isn't there also a thing? Isn't it that if you take one person, you can do like a double jump? I guess is what they call it in checkers.
The other ones can. The scout cannot.
Okay.
I think because he can move and attack on the same turn.
I thought your scout could only attack 1 square forward or backward.
He can attack before or after moving.
In the same turn. That's what I forgot. Well, I messed up.
You're fine. Your guy is not in attack range.
Oh, because he can't move 2.
No, he can move 2, but you'd have to be there. He can either hit there, like he can't hit in the same circle he's in. It's fun because it's a circle board, so it's a little more confusing than like chess when you can have squares. But he is within attack range of your guy, so I really do gotta move him. And that's your scout too. So I guess 1, 2. We'll do that for now. I'm spending too much time.
Yeah. I'm also like, oh, that's a space? Yeah, that's a space. Also, if you're at home watching this, we're not allowed to interact with that center section of the board.
Even though they want to make this look pretty, but I wish they did a line here so you just knew.
Right.
But
yeah, no. I think it's not too hard to remember there's 2 rows. So yeah, but I guess that means that you can't just race across the board. There's much more of a chance for everyone to dance around each other. Let's see then. Guess I don't want to do that. I'll move my... What's the name of my brute? My brute is the Kintan Strider. I'll move my Strider 1 to its right.
Right there?
Yeah. I'm just going to start doing stuff and see what happens. I'm going to learn by doing.
All right, so...
Especially looking at this from a camera and trying to figure out which alien is which. That way lies madness.
I'm mixing up. I think I'm looking at this one, but I'm reading the chart for this one. So I think I'm going to take, this guy. So if he's there, he can move. Yes. So I'm going to move him. Make sure I do this right. He starts here. Dut, dut, dut.
He moves in an L shape.
Yes.
I really like Calor Slug.
Yeah, but you like Grk.
Gook is the we could hop over him. Or no, he can't hop over him. No, he could. And what is that? Let's say my predator hopped over and moved 2 spaces to its right. What's next to it right there? That's your slug?
That's my slug.
That's your predator.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Why would I want to do that? I don't know. I'll do that. That seems illegal, right?
So you can hop over, so he'll go there.
Correct.
All right.
Like I said, we're just going to see where things can go. Can you turn my volume up a bit? Someone said they couldn't hear me that well. In OBS, should be separate gauges. Or perhaps turn yourself down, and then people can turn their overall volume up. My mic is always lower, so.
How's this?
We'll have to find out from the
Uh,
chat. To me, it all sounds the same, unfortunately. So let us know if you're watching how things go.
I'm trying to hear. Oh yeah, there's still a big sound difference. Why is that?
Sorry, guys. Bear with us. We'll work it out.
It was working fine before. So weird. I'm trying to hear. Oh yeah, there's still a big sound difference. Why is that?
I think we should probably. Sorry, guys. Bear with us.
Okay, I think I fixed it. I think I fixed it. Fine before.
All right, let's get back into it. Let us know in the chat if it sounds okay. So this puts it back at your turn.
All right.
I think we should probably. Sorry, guys. Bear with us.
Okay, I think I fixed it.
You need to mute your. You need to mute your audio.
Sorry, I forgot that.
Yeah,
because that was the mistake. It was the desktop volume. All right. So moving forward, we've got our lovely board here, and you just moved your predator, your Nagak.
They said it's much better in there.
So I think it is the only obvious move to do.
My Ngak.
Your Ngak is to move. Where can your that attack? Okay, that's where he can attack. Right where I was going to move. So that's not what I want to do. So instead,
where can your that attack?
I'm going to. I guess you know what? No. That's so boring. All right. I'm gonna move him. No, I will move this guy so he can move here. I think I did that right.
That's your predator, right?
My predator, my slug, my Calor slug.
Yep.
Yes, that's where he can move.
Okay, that is a turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good stuff. Very good stuff. Okay, I mean, it's interesting compared to, in chess or checkers even, you have a lot more pieces, so they kind of have like a, I mean, I don't know about real chess pros playing this game. I'm sure it goes either slower or faster depending on how much they're thinking or whatever. But you have more fodder, so maybe it's like more exciting, like more stuff's getting taken out early on. Whereas in this, there's only 4, so
Right,
it's like
so it's a little scarier. And the other thing is in chess, your attack and move action are the same. Like a
right,
knight, whatever he lands on in that L shape is not the same in this. Like
right.
for example, the predators, you'd think because the way they move is pretty much 2 spaces left to right that he could kill this. That actually isn't true. They attack in an L shape.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Now let's see. That's your guardian right there. I have yet to move my guardian, which is my monarch, who's like dude like holding a stick. Am I
No, you
reading that?
moved him. You haven't moved
What is
your
that?
scout yet.
Oh, it's my scout. Sorry. I can't tell them apart. Okay, it's my Hujix, which looks like a turtle of some kind. They
Well,
look very different in those
look-
images than they do in the minis to me. Doesn't it look like a turtle kind of in the picture? I don't know.
The Hoga, not really. It's a weird strider thing with a tail.
I think, I don't know. The way I'm looking at it, I thought the tail was a head. Maybe. I'm
No,
looking
pretty
at
sure that's the head.
I'm
but-
looking at an image of of an image, so it's not the best.
Google it. See what Star Wars art actually exists of these creatures.
I don't think there is any. As far as I know, these things only exist as chess pieces. I don't think there's ever been a rendering. I don't know that to be true.
I feel like with extended universe stuff, you never know. Like,
yeah. All right, let's see. They can go 2 tiles in any direction. Oh, even diagonally? That doesn't seem to make sense.
which one?
I'm gonna assume that the scouts can't move diagonally.
Technically, I mean, they could end up. It's 1-2.
Oh, it doesn't. I guess it doesn't say it has to be in a straight line.
No, because you can't go 1-2. They can end in where they started.
Hmm. Don't know. Oh, right. Right. That's true. Let's move that guardian 2 to its left.
Wait, the Guardian or the Scout?
Whatever that thing
This
is.
guy?
Yes.
So there.
Yes. Sorry. I can't keep it straight.
All right. So what I will do. So the Predator can only hop over pieces if it's moving, not when it's attacking.
I believe that's the case.
All right. So I can't move him over my little green guy, which is annoying. My poor slug, he just wants to eat one of your guys. Is that too much to ask for?
Yeah, it is a little bit. By the way, I brought a prop with me tonight.
Oh, you did? What do you have?
Just a little something. How about that?
Luckily, I think you're like General Grievous, who doesn't have training in the Force, so I don't have to worry about you force choking me across the screen.
Yeah, that's true. Is this livening up the stream, everybody?
Why don't you tell people about how you built your lightsaber?
Anytime it gets slow, I'm taking this out.
So, my turns. All right. So, what I want to do, since he can't, no, that's illegal too. I'm going. Let me make sure that, yeah. Let's go around.
Oh, yeah, he did it. That's your brute, yeah?
That is my brew. No, I'm not doing that. That kills him.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
I was going to do that first. There we go.
I actually was like, in my head, all I was thinking was, oh, that means my guy's in danger. Not realizing I would have had a turn. It's the same thing. Okay.
I forgot that I need to move first. Because I remember the entire time I'm always like, he's going to kill me. But then I'm like, oh, now he moved there. I can go there. Except I forgot I need to move first.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we call it space checkers, but it's really much more akin to chess. And that whole game, that dance of trying to force someone into a position. Fortunately, the board is small. That's another thing that I think should hopefully would make this game be a little bit more cutthroat, maybe a little quicker, because there isn't as much space to hide. I'm gonna let's go ahead and move my brute, which is called the Kintan Strider.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move it. One to the right, so that it is diagonal from your Molitor. And now you know that is in danger.
That is in danger.
I've made an aggressive move.
All right, so
Kevy's disappointed. We're not dressed up. I'm sorry. Brandon Graham said, I would have put money on a lightsaber making an appearance.
All right.
You would have won that bet.
Well, in order for me to decide what I want to do, I'm going to have to roll some chance cubes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so judging by those results, what I'm going to want to do is move this guy. And he's going to move in an L-shaped pattern, so that would be... Oh, that might be dead no matter what then.
Oh, did I actually do something good?
Because I think your Predator moves in L shape, right? Yeah, he does.
To attack.
So what I'm going to do instead...
Oh, an eye for an eye. Wow, the first kill, first blood of the game.
Guess I should... There we go.
There you go. All right. Well done. Then I will... Yeah... What is that right there? Is that your brute?
This is my brute.
Now see, this is actually bad. I'm still gonna do it. Yep. Go ahead, and then you're gonna take my brute. All right. Hey, we just made a lot of progress in this game, baby.
We're learning.
Okay, so now all of the actions on the other side. Although your guy can get over there really quickly, which is interesting. Kevy B looked up and found that according to Wikipedia, these minis are based on creatures of both real and mythological. But I in lore, I understand at least some of them. I didn't know that any of them are mythological. I guess some of them are real. I just don't know if they've ever actually shown them in their real form in any of the media. Other than, I don't know.
If that's the case, Star Wars should have their mythological creatures are behold the horse.
Yeah, right. What do you need to invent? An alien would come to our world and say the same thing, like a unicorn. You have lions. Those things are insane. Have you seen eels? Terrifying.
Have you seen a platypus?
Yeah. All right. So this is good. Now the field is narrowed down. I am down to two pieces. I've got my guardian and my scout. Or no, yeah, right?
Yes. That is your scout.
All right. I've got a monarch and an ungok. All right. So, oh no, sorry, that's not correct. I've got a monarch and a Hujix. So my guardian can move one forward or backward, and then two to the right of an L shape. It's much easier to comprehend. And he attacks two to the left or right. It's got no targets there. 1, 2, 3, and what have you got going on over there? You've got a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's my Hujix. My scout moves and attacks one square forward or backward. Oh, and it can attack. Let's see. No, it can't get in position anywhere there, unfortunately. You know what? Move it two to the left. To move my scout 2 spaces to your left. I think that's your left. Yeah.
Well, I knew it couldn't move there, so I had to go there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right.
So I don't know why I did it, but I did it.
All right. What I'm gonna do then is double check this and move him, my brute, across the board.
Okay.
My Sarvip is coming. The only one doing work.
He really is. Okay. Yeah. 2 against 3. All right. Now, the one that I just moved, again, it can move 2 or can attack. Can't really do much right now. Which ones can move across the board? The brute and the...
I thought only the brute could.
I thought 2 of them could. Maybe I made that up.
It's the brutes, but in the rule book they say the Starvip and the Strider can both move across the board. So that's probably why.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Okay. I think I also thought because I know the brute has to start in the middle, and so does another one. So I thought it was because they could.
No, that's what I think. It's in the rulebook. It says the Mantelian Savrip and the Kinton Strider characters must start in the middle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is where you had the fun of chess, where you both have bishops, but they're not both called bishops.
Yeah, it is.
This is my bishop. Really... That's your pope. I've got a king and queen. You got a monarch and an emperor.
I sure do. I really do. I do like my guardian. You know, I like that he's carrying a big stick. He's growing on me. Let's see. L shape. And the guardian also can't do that. I guess I'll move my guardian in an L shape so it's next to my other guy. So it goes 2 over and then 1 forward. Yeah.
All right.
So, you know, I'm trying to hide.
And how does this my predator move again? He's going to move like this. Boom, boom.
All right. Elias in the chat said, I did not know this was a proper game. Yeah, I think there were maybe like fan-made rules for it before, but this is the official version that you can only actually buy at a Disney park. But there are third-party sellers online you might be able to find it at.
And of course, eBay.
Yeah, that too. I don't think the prices online were actually that bad, but they might be now since you can't go there because that makes it a lot harder. That makes it tricky. But yeah, I still don't know if it is. I don't know how you would define a proper game, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right, I think I might just keep moving that guy. 3.
Kevin B has confirmed they have only appeared as pieces for this game.
All right, cool. Good to know that lore. Love the lore. Why don't you move my guardian again? This time it's going to go 2 over and 1 back.
All right. And the guardian is that one. So, okay, that's where he can attack.
You know what I need for this game is a tutorial mode where you start with each person only has 1 piece, and then I gradually understand how they work.
No, we need like to play like an actual computer version, but I can secretly click a button and just like if I select this piece, it shows that's an attack spot, that's a move spot.
Yes.
Like I know I need my training wheels, but it's because they have 2 different things. Like, even though chess has more pieces, because they're all 1, some reason, because you go 1 to 1, that's just easier to grasp. And like I said, because a brute have different names, so you get confused like, oh, I thought there are 2 pieces across the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I am stalling for way too long. I think it's time that my scout should move. Oh man, you're threatening me now, are you?
Am I cool yet? Do you guys think I'm cool? Check this baby out.
Actually, you know what? That's I'll move my brute over 1. Keep the pressure.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, so I'm probably gonna want to get my Hoojiks out of the way. They're tough because I got to get them in position, especially now. Before, we had more pieces, so you could do what we did before, where you force someone to make a choice.
He's the best piece because his move and attack patterns are identical.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty nice. Although he cannot, correct me if I'm wrong, can he attack across the board?
He cannot. That's the one thing, but almost everything else, which is good enough for me.
Yeah. So, so my scout... 2 in any direction. Let's just move him right back to where he is. No.
Alias asks, how do we know what pieces? It's a little confusing from the top down, but from my angle, they have blue bases or red bases.
Correct. Yeah. So keep an eye on that. And they also are different alien models, so I guess, you could try to figure out which one is which that way. You would anyway. All right. So I am going to now what is that green guy there? That's your
That is my scout. That is the
Okay. I will move my scout right next to
I
it.
want to make sure that's this one. Yes.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. There's still a space in between them.
Yeah.
But
you want to move him here?
oh, because then he'd be. Oh no, yeah, he'd still be safe. Oh no, he'd be in danger again, right away from your brute again. Still, so I guess he's got to go to the other side.
Pretty much this entire sector.
Yeah,
so
that's his only safe choice. Yep.
All right, and what I'm going to do then.
Yeah, and the brute can also just like flip sides right now and also like come back too. Like,
well, he'd flip here, and I think he's actually in one of your guys' attack ranges. Then
I guess that's true, but still, in general, they seem scary for that reason. They can cover ground quickly.
I always gotta double check. He can attack that many spaces away, and then this guy. Ooh, wait a minute. He's going there.
Okay. All right. Now that is your predator.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. I'm trying to figure this out. You've got plans and I don't know what they are. My guardian can't attack it, but I'm pretty sure wait.
Kevin B says this game needs a different board, different pieces, different rules, and possibly a holographic board.
I won't have any more negative talk about Dejarik on May the 4th, Star Wars Day. This is a thing to behold. This is a good time. So anyway, I was trying to figure out that unless I'm mistaken, your predator. It will be able to take out my scout.
That is, if I read this correctly, he can.
It can move in an L shape and take that out. Ooh, so he might be stuck. Oh no, I can move him now to the right again.
Right, if he moves here.
Yep, that's what it is. Hey, as long as I only have one option, I'll take it.
And now my predator is in killing distance of your scout. But
wait,
your scout attacks. Your scout attacks.
One forward or backward, right? Correct.
My predator, though, who can hop over pieces.
And now we're back in the same position.
You want to keep up the song and dance?
Actually, I think. Oh yeah. So if he goes to the right, then he's in danger of your predator, or sorry, your scout. Or no, that's not true.
No.
They only attack with a 1.
Yes.
That's right. I get the movement confused. So then I will just move him 2 to the right. Right?
Right.
I'm just gonna
sorry. I forgot. I need to move them for you.
By I mean through you, my proxy.
Yes, Brandon. We are having fun. All right. Yeah, that scout has been just sitting there. Is there anything cool I can do with him? God. If he moves there. Oh, no. Fingers back. That kills him.
Oh, no.
Guardian.
Oh, yeah, I'm guarding. That's what he's doing. That's his job. Good old monarch.
All right, go ahead.
Uh-oh.
My Savrip moved to his shuffle to the right.
Got it. Now your Savrip, I can see where he can go. I understand where he can go. It's very annoying the scout and the predator, the whole
that the pretty much reverse images of each other.
Yeah, and like trying to figure out like how do I get one within 2 of it or 1? Like there's always going to be a space between them or not. I think I might go. Let's see. Maybe I'll go back to my guardian.
Elias mentions he saw a game on Kickstarter that was, I assume, basically this with 4 players. He thinks it got funded.
Well,
Do you remember anything like this?
it might be. Hold on.
I have no idea what he's talking about, so I'm really curious what he's pulling off his shelf. Apparently, unlike the last time we were streaming, it wasn't within arm's length.
I don't know if this is. I don't think this was for 4 players, or if this is the game he's thinking of. But it's only 2 players according to the box. But I was going to bring it up. There is this game called Hologrid, which I backed a long time ago, and we have yet to play it. Which is from the same designer as it's the guy who actually created the models for the movie version of this game. So the idea was this was like inspired by that, and it uses AR, so you would actually use your phone to see them come to life, like you did in the movie. It's kind of cool looking. I wonder if it's actually good. We've never played it. I've had it for so long, but I always thought it seemed cool. Yeah, I think it's a different game than what Elias is talking about in the chat. I did not see the one that he's referring to, but
he said the creator called it New Chess. That name does not sound. Well, actually,
I think he's saying like he means it was supposed to be the new chess.
Yeah, that's what I assume that the creator called it the New Chess, like
right.
not the like Wingspan, like the actual title, or maybe the creator's just really dull. What shall you call your game? Chess 2.
Wasn't there? I feel like that is actually a game. I think someone made chess. All right, it's my turn. So we could take as many tangents as we want because who cares? This Guardian, I think I wanted to move in its L shape. I guess move it next to my.
So there?
Yeah, move it there.
All
yeah.
Right. Huh.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Your scout can attack there, so then I'll move this there.
Okay. Okay, that's your slug?
That is my slug.
See your slug. See, now I'm starting to get the hang of these names. All right, so your slug. Interesting. Okay, so your slug can take out my scout, which I don't like, but ooh, okay. Oh wait, and the scout, ooh, he might be stuck. He might be stuck. 2 tiles. Oh no, he's not stuck. He can move back. He can move backwards.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm just gonna wait until you tell me to move a piece.
So my scout could move back 1 and then 1 to the left, say.
Yes, he can. Pretty much he gets 2 movement, and he can go any way he wants. It's just adjacent. So
okay.
That's why he can go 1, 2, 1, 2. If that guy wasn't there, 1, 2.
And would that help me at all if it went that way? Not really, but how does your predator again? No, I don't think that would matter either. You know what? Move him so diagonal 1 space essentially, but to the up there.
All right.
Don't know why.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure, but I think he was safe from the slug.
I thought you could move it in L shape up and then over 2.
I don't know if that blocks it.
Oh, because he can't.
Not that he moved into an attack pattern for me.
Huh. That's a good point. I'm not sure if they. I guess you're right. I guess they can't move over at any point.
Boop.
Oh well. Oh hey, buddy. Look who's joining the party. Okay, so now, I mean, yes. Yeah. All right. So now my only. Let's see. Is there any way? Which one of these is more valuable to me? Because no matter what I do, you can take out. Or no. Yeah, that's true. Correct. Brute. Yes, you can attack in any direction. So no matter what, one of these 2 pieces is gone next turn, unless I find somehow some move that would convince you not to. But I don't think I will. So let's see.
Ooh.
Guardian can move. All right, I'm going to puzzle this out. I'm going to look at all the angles here.
The ooh was not referring to the current situation. I'll leave it at
Okay.
that. So don't think that I saw something those set up
Okay.
now.
Okay. All right. I won't. 2, 3, and then and then it attacks. What is this? That's my Guardian. 2 to the left or right. That's so annoying. All right, and then I've got my Scout. Could move. No, my Scout is the worst. I think I'm ready to let him go. It's just very frustrating to be able, because I think no matter what I do, I would have to backtrack a little bit at some point.
I will let you know, by the way, the game ends if A, you lose all your pieces, or B, if you have one piece left and you don't take another opponent's piece in 3 turns.
Okay. Well, thank God, because otherwise the game would never end. It would just be...
It would reset, by the way, each time. So, like, let's say you ended up with one piece. You have 3 turns to take one. Then the timer resets for another 3 turns to take another.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know if that would actually happen in pro plays. Like, I don't know how feasible that is.
Pro plays. Yeah, right.
you know there's a subreddit of people who talk about this in extreme strategies. I'm sure they're watching this. If they saw this, they'd be like, oh my God.
I don't know. We might be the first people to ever play this game.
Everyone who's bought this has just been like, oh, it's a nice piece. No one actually learned to play it. They only play the other side of the board, which is checkers.
God, you know what I really wanted? I wish I could do is, I mean, I could do it. I want to move my Scout just back to the space it's in right now. But it would be cool if I had like once you moved into that position, I'd have you in a vulnerable spot.
Well, I thought about that, and I thought like there could be an awkward stalemate where, like, let's say it's like whoever moved next would lose a piece, but both sides just move their Scout back and forth. So like literally they're waiting.
Yeah, it seems like that's likely to happen. I will move my Guardian, and I will move it. I think it only has one option: back and to the left. Back and to the left.
That's right?
Yep.
Well, I mean, I gotta go do that.
Yeah, you got to do it. All right, I'm down to 1, baby. This means all my moves are gonna. So I have 3 turns. What you're telling me, to take one of your pieces, or
if you only have one piece remaining and you fail to take your opponent's piece in 3 turns, you lose the game. Each time you acquire opponent's piece, the 3-turn counter is reset.
All right, then. And unfortunately, again, his attack range is 2, which is so annoying. Yeah.
Kevin V suggests that the creator of Onitama should play this.
Oh, yeah, sure. Why not?
I feel like he'd be angry.
Give it a go. Okay. So maybe he wants them to do a design on it.
Now, that would be interesting. I think if they can bring those licenses together, because I mean, obviously, like we said, this is our first playthrough, but I think it's pretty obvious to me that this was like, it was a set piece in the movie that they weren't really thinking about. And this is can we make a game out of it?
Now, is there a Holochess I called it Holochess. There's a 3D chess from Star Trek.
I think there is. I don't know official, but I think fans have.
Yeah.
And the problem is, though, fan versions versus like mass production versions are usually much more complicated. When because they're selling in their parks, so they're like, we got to make it so it's nothing too crazy. Granted, I think it is a little bit, mostly because of naming things.
Yeah, I mean, I think in lore and universe too, it makes sense. Like it's probably a widespread. I don't think in Star Wars they're playing Twilight Imperium.
Right. But my guess is also because I think there's more pieces or something. I feel like there might be more to it. Partially because it is a hologram. Remember, you can do more stuff as a video game. With background stuff. Maybe it could have some more interesting rules. Like maybe this thing can breathe fire in 3 sectors or something weird like that.
All right, move my only remaining piece in an L shape to the left.
All right. So what? How can this guy? He attacks in the L shape.
Yes.
I have to double check every time. Oh,
I mean, there's a chance that you could just move your what is it, your scout
I am
back
going to
in.
move my scout here.
I was gonna say you could probably just move it to the same spot it's in and just stall for 3 turns and wait. I'm not even sure if I could get to you in
No,
3
no, no. I'm
turns.
doing that.
Okay.
Let's see if that makes a difference.
I didn't
Wait, did
do
I do
the
it?
math on that. It was just a
Yeah.
guess. Okay, and the scout attacks one has to go forward or back. Oh, but it can attack and move in the same turn. Interesting. Huh. I guess move it. Keep going up. Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Is that
Oh,
right?
that'll kill him though.
No, is
Oh no,
that
oh no, it won't.
is that the right space though?
That is what I was thinking of. Yeah,
Okay.
that right. Your brute isn't that he would go to the other side.
He would go here.
Okay, but
This
I mean
space would
this
be there.
this was turn 2, so I don't see how. I don't think there's any way. Yeah, I don't think. I wonder if you even tried. Could you put yourself in a position where I could take a piece?
This guy will move here.
All right. Go ahead and move me anywhere you like. And that's a game, is that? Yeah.
I believe so. Now and I want to double check this because I didn't find this in the rules, but you were the one who said it. Each piece on the team unique way to attack. If your opponent's piece is an attack zone, then you can take this piece.
Yes.
I want about the double attack.
Oh, right.
The chaining it. All right. Yes. It's
if you take
you
one
can.
piece,
It's a may.
and yeah, okay.
So it's not. What we did is not technically illegal. It's just a dumb play. But Jonathan should have had a huge advantage against me.
Oh wait. Was I able to take 2 at once?
Yeah, you moved here with your brute. You could. I did. I just realized it then. And I'm like,
technically, yeah. Okay, you can chain attacks.
yeah.
Okay.
So that actually should have been heavily in your favor.
Huh.
So
Interesting. I would have evened it out, wouldn't it have more so?
no, my brute did all the work that game.
Oh, I guess that's true. And that's okay. It's a
Yeah.
learning game. I want to address the chat. Elias asked, "What is the best Star Wars board game in your opinion?" Which is a great question to ask on May the 4th.
It's not this one.
Hey, what did I say? No more ragging on Dejarik.
Look, I'm not saying this is terrible and that it's just a set piece. What I'm saying is I think that some of the other ones are just really a lot more fun. And also, you play as characters you recognize from the movies. Or at least you'll know the names of.
Dean Muramoto said, "I would say Star Wars Queen's Gambit, which is what now is available in a different form as Star Wars Risk. But Queen's Gambit, I know, had some rules differences and took place during Episode 1, whereas Star Wars Risk is during Return
3.
of the Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, not 3.
6. I mean, I know the one that everyone pretty much says is amazing that I wish I could play, but we're so bad at doing 2-player games is Star Wars Rebellion. I at some point I'm gonna get my hands on it and we're gonna play it. I swear, but it's like a 3-hour 2-player game.
Yeah, that's really the challenge. It's one of those things where we have to, like, any of the long games, you have to make sure you give a dedicated time to. Like, you can make a game night an Arkham night. The problem is making a game night a Rebellion night. It's like you're pretty much saying, I only want Will to come over. Everyone else, get out of here.
I loved Outer Rim. I think we both did. That came out last year.
Outer Rim was a lot of fun.
Imperial Assault, I think, is a pretty big one. I know you don't love you. I know in general the one versus all.
I'm not crazy about them. I think the Star Wars one was a little better. I and I'm really curious with all the expansion stuff they made.
I would love to explore more of that.
I thought the Risk, Star Wars Risk, though, I thought for something that has the Risk title, I thought that was a pretty fun experience.
No, Star Wars Risk is really great. Truly.
X-Wing and Armada, I think, are one of those things where you're rewarded. It's hard to judge them because we play mostly from the cores, and it's like you're rewarded when someone's like, look, I made different teams. Do you want to try a 2 Millennium Falcon build? Do you want to go with that? And then that will make those games much more rewarding, so I don't feel like I can judge those two to their what their full potential is.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm never going to... It's a miniatures game. That's never going to be my real thing. But I have fun when we played them, you know. I like them.
I will say that at least Star Wars seems to have a good selection of games depending on what you're looking for, especially compared to a lot of our other properties. I mean, Power Rangers, I only got one this last year, you know, or year or two or so. Star Wars has a huge variety. And they're, like, if you said you don't like miniatures, well, then there's another option. They're not also like stuck in one kind of game format.
Well, there's more. I know it was on a recent Fantasy Flight live stream. They said someone hinted that within the next 1 to 3 years, they said they have like multiple Star Wars board games in the works, basically brand new games.
Here's my question, Jonathan. They used to have a Star Wars LCG. I think it was competitive. If they came out with a new one that was cooperative, like Lord of the Rings or Marvel's Champions, are you picking that up?
I'd be all over it. I would love it. Yeah. No, I can't believe they've got it. I think they've got to be working on the second edition of it. I think they would be a little bit dumb not to.
Well, here's the thing. I think it was competitive though. I think it's more like Game of Thrones.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
I would want to be co-op for sure.
You think it should be the co-op format?
Yeah, I think that's been working for them. I think in general, it's certainly what I like, and it just makes. I mean, both make sense. But then, if you're doing competitively, is it like, well, one person always has to play as the dark?
Well, what I think might be an interesting sort of alternative. I mean, it's still cooperative, but you know how Arkham, as an example, Lord of the Rings, they have cycles. Star Wars should do that, but let's say the first cycle follows good guys. The second cycle has villain cards. So there's certain cards in your deck that could be put in anyone's deck. They're like true neutral. Then there'll be cards where you can only put in like Imperial decks or in Rebel decks. So then there's this interesting dynamic of kinds of cards, and that way the cycles would be a lot more interesting going back and forth. That could be because I think there's a lot of cool villains in Star Wars universe for you to take advantage of.
I'd say that's an accurate assessment. Yeah. I mean, there's so much lore you can do so much stuff with. Another one we didn't mention is Star Wars Destiny, which they stopped making, but and again, it's a collectible game, which isn't my thing, but I still really I'm glad I have those core sets. I mean, I enjoyed that style of gameplay. It's really the Dice Masters thing. I think that's pretty fun. And I thought of another one too, but now it's escaped me.
Ellie said apparently Imperial Assault is no longer getting produced.
Interesting. Says he believes this. Might be wrong.
I think I remember reading about it.
I know that the expansions aren't. There's no more expansions coming out.
Right, but I think people are asking like a reprint, and they were like avoiding answering the question. So I think it's like one of those things where everyone's really worried about it, because I remember reading something along those lines.
Yeah, that would be a shame, because I think it's a really great game, and one of the things, as much as I love digging into the specific, like this is the bounty hunting game, it's this is the whatever slice of Star Wars, I feel like Imperial Assault was the closest thing to all encompassing, like this covers pretty much all the ground. You like the Force, you like the smuggling, you like the shooting action, like the adventure style. Like this is like if I were going to call one of these Star Wars the board game, I think that's Imperial Assault.
I think part of it is it definitely is the closest also capturing, at least in my head, a cinematic experience.
Right, yeah. In terms of the theme and the narrative, yeah.
Like there is dogfighting, like X-Wing and Armada in Star Wars, plenty of scenes,
right.
But that's not like the entire movie.
It's not like, I know for a lot of people, I mean, I love the ships in Star Wars, but I was never.
I'm always a big Y-wing fan. I don't know. Right. I can't tell you why, but as a kid,
I mean,
Uh, uh,
but I never walk away from those movies like. If you asked me like my 10 favorite things about Star Wars movies, I don't think like ship battles would be on the list. I love them. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not what's my like. Yeah, and then they're flying in space. I was never like a guy who cared about like space dogfighting too much.
I will
I don't
say
know.
for the spin-off one, which of course now I'm blanking on it when I first thought of it, where they have to get the plans to the Death Star.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Like, that was one of the moments, because I loved the space battle when they're talking about, like, call the hammer ship. Like,
oh, yeah.
That movie, that battle scenes in that movie are just fantastic.
I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, there's some super iconic scenes of that out there. I see JSN Ross in the chat mentioned Heroes of the Arturi Cluster for X-Wing changes the game to co-op. Is that an official variant, or is that a fan-made thing? I'm not familiar with that. Maybe it's like one of the campaign expansions.
Yeah, I think the campaign boxes. We never really looked too much into that. I remember we talked about it in a release thing.
That could be interesting.
And I think it actually has a story too, which would definitely feel a bit more the cinematic style that you may be looking for.
Yeah, and Elias said he thinks that Star Wars Rebellion is the superior experience to Imperial Assault just for the epic scope. I think that's probably is another one that I know it encompasses a lot. But I think for me, like I mean, you know what, I wish, and maybe there is. I think that I did eventually release an app for Imperial Assault that allowed you to run it fully co-op. I could be wrong about that.
I can't remember. I know there were packages for Descent. That's all I remember.
I tell me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's true. Jason Ross said that's a homebrew thing.
I will say,
but I think that co-op. Sorry, I just want to get this out. I think that co-op that would make Imperial Assault to me like the ultimate. Like that's the thing that scares me off of. Not scares me off. Makes me preferred a little to what's it called? Rebel Assault. I can't remember the name. Star Wars Rebellion. Mm-hmm. That is strictly 1v1. To me, part of the Star Wars experience is the like working together as a team aspect of it. Anyway.
But what I was going to say is that I also have experience that you don't, which is frankly a shame.
Oh, yeah.
Of the Star Wars RPG.
That's right.
And I love that they broke it up so you could have like one that's more Force based, one that's more Rogue based. That way, things don't get too weird. It's a double-edged sword, not double blade.
It's a double-bladed lightsaber.
The double-bladed lightsaber about this is that the way that I think passing and failing works, it's a little weird with the dice. The symbols, you don't use numbered dice, or you could, but it'd be complicated. I feel, unlike other things where I feel like someone doesn't need to be like a master knowledge of the lore of Dungeons & Dragons to make a Dungeons & Dragons campaign. You just need a general grasp. I think this game significantly increases, at least from my experience, if the person who's running the game knows about Star Wars. Like, can really say, because you can get like super successes and super fails at the same time. So it'd have to be someone who knows, like, okay, you're gonna, like, it makes sense for a Jedi to appear, or not, because, they're a little weird. But, like, can do that sort of keeping the party feeling like they're still in the world of Star Wars instead of becoming a really off the rails weird stuff going on.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do that with any franchise, I guess Star Wars is a safe bet since that probably has the most people.
Now, the question
who have
is,
that much knowledge of it.
Would you be a GM or a player? Because do you have the most Star Wars knowledge in our group?
Probably for our current regulars.
Of the current regulars, yes. I mean,
I mean, I probably am. I don't know if it's not really bragging, but I probably am the most hopelessly obsessed.
I think
with
the problem is
stuff.
the bar also isn't high.
I mean, I built a lightsaber. So yeah, I'd like to say I'm probably at least in the top 2. So yeah, I would love to do both. I would love to run a campaign, but at the same time, obviously the dream is to be in that world. Well, I guess as GM, there's a little, I mean, you do get to run NPCs, right? So you kind of get a little both.
Well, and here's my question then. because it could be the same answer. As I said, there's one where you play more as the rebellion, one that you play more as your scum and villainy, and one that you play more as force users. Which one would you rather GM, and which one would you rather play as if they are different? Because I can imagine you're like, I'd love a story for this, but I want to be a Jedi.
Yeah, well, if you're in the chat too, and feel free to answer these questions too. Thanks. JSN Ross said that that module was created by Josh Derrickson ? An actual game designer has a campaign, multiple missions. That's cool. Oh, it's on Tabletop Sim. That's cool. But
hello, Benjamin.
Hi guys. But to answer your question, I think I would want to. Ooh, it's tough.
Well, while you're thinking about it, I just want to show off in case people are curious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Show
this board also allows, if you think that's too annoying, complicated, if I can pop that in, a checkers board, which of course come with Imperial and Rebel checker pieces. But I don't think you guys want to watch us play checkers.
Probably not. I don't know if you want to watch us play
fun. Everything does fit. Actually, I'm going to keep these out in case we play again.
Most things.
Except for the figures. So it's like the main piece that you bought this for. Oops. There we go. Don't fit. Oh, well, now they don't fit. I guess they were fitting before.
Uh-oh. The Force. It's a disturbance in the Force. Let's see. Elias said would rather play Scum and Villainy and would rather DM Rebels. Interesting. Okay. I think as much as I love and overall prefer the look and feel of the original trilogy in that era, I think my answer for both might be I want to play in the Old Republic era and GM it, because I think that the thing about the OT, the original trilogy.
The one thing is I don't know. I assume you're referring to the Force one. I don't know if that actually is like. I don't know if they make it so you can only play in the Republic. I don't know if it's like.
I guess I should say like prequel era like that. Is that what you mean? Or
yeah, sorry, like the prequel era. That's what I mean. But I don't know if any of the books. I mean, obviously, probably the Rebellion one has to be during when the Rebellion exists. But I don't know, because the Force users, I'm pretty sure, at least if I remember some of the art, had like old Obi-Wan or like Darth Vader on the cover. So those might allow for you to go as far as, in terms of at least the character you play as. Obviously, the story you write, like if you probably want to use the Force users, because if you want an Old Republic story, that's when there were a lot more Jedi. So
right.
I assume then.
I just think that I mean, there's something definitely that could be really cool about the quote unquote modern era of Star Wars in their universe, not ours. But I also feel like in some ways it's limiting and it's like, it's more of the, I like, there's so much lore and so many creatures and ideas you can play with for more of the like Jedi, the Republic, the prequel era. I feel like their role in the galaxy really lends itself very easily to quests, to the like RPG. What's the word I'm looking for? Not the system. The progression thing.
Leveling up.
Yeah, but like just more general, the flow, I guess, of an RPG.
I can see what you're saying, because if you're doing in either the original era and even in the modern era, where there's the First Order or the Empire, I feel like almost like 80% of your checks are there's an Imperial patrol.
Right.
Like everything is under heavy. You're always playing in like as if you're in a dystopian empire. When
it's pretty one note.
When you deal with the prequel era, I don't know the names of any of these. You could be a bit more interesting, like this kingdom's sort of like on neutral territory. This one's against, or at least I assume.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the reason why there's the prequel cartoons. Like,
right. There's much more. I feel like there's a lot more fun stuff you could do of like, oh, there's these huts on this planet, or these Toydarians or whatever, and like the council is sending you on this mission.
I also like how I was watching a thing recently about Obi-Wan Kenobi and they were joking about how like nowadays all the badass Jedi in like all the new Force like cartoons or comics, all of them have had an encounter with Darth Vader. Like everyone has fought Darth Vader and survived. It's just...
Right. Yeah, maybe he's not as scary as they say. I don't know. Elias also asked us, what are your thoughts on the Disney Star Wars trilogy?
Are we talking about episodes 7, 8, 9?
Yeah, that would be those, the ones that were under the Disney
I'm
umbrella.
making sure that
technically they own all of them now, but
right. But I assume he means just those and also not spin-offs or Mandalorian.
Right.
I think we're both, and we've talked about this on our podcast, but we're both in pretty much agreement.
And anywhere else, if you find me on the street, I will talk to you about it if you want.
We enjoyed The Force Awakens. We understand it's definitely a lot like A New Hope, but it was partially you needed it to be like that. Coming off from the prequels. We're in the small camp, I think, of liking.
I think it's a big camp. It's just on the internet, people are angry. More so.
Yes, we enjoyed The Last Jedi. I understand there are some faults, and I agree with some people on what they say, but I think overall I understand the reason those faults exist. Same reason why, like, some like there's certain things in movies that are like, I get why these people don't use guns or not. Like, hypothetically, I don't know why anyone in Star Wars gives people laser weapons as soon as they know a Jedi's around. Like, a shotgun, on the other hand, just ruins a Jedi's day.
Nah, they use the Force. Come on. Whereas I truly don't feel like... I feel like the faults of Last Jedi are very few. I mean, to me, that's an almost perfect movie. Love it.
Well, we both really did not like...
we did not like The Rise of Skywalker, which is available today for the first time on Disney Plus. And it's a movie that I would probably go so far as to say I hated it, but I got to tell you, I might watch it on Disney Plus. Give it another go, because I did.
You rewatched was it after Rise of Skywalker? So you rewatched the prequels
after Skywalker came out. Yeah, I did a rewatch of the first 6, and boy, watching episodes 2 and 3, I was like, maybe it wasn't so bad. maybe I misjudged Rise of Skywalker.
I know for me, I think it's not a truly unpopular one, but it's like a weird thing. Part of the reason I hate episode 3 so much is I feel, because before episode 3 came out, we had those cartoons done by the creator of Samurai Jack. And Grievous comes in, and I loved his design. I loved everything about him. And then in episode 3, he comes in like, and like, it's the most saddest, pathetic Sith.
Yeah, they really found a way to make something cool not cool. Yeah, it's a real shame about those prequels. I'm part of the camp.
I do love Obi-Wan though. I love his character in those.
Yeah, a lot of people like episodes 3 the most. I even see more of a modern trend now where I feel like some people who grew up with the prequels like episode 3 more than some of the original movies. I'm in a place where I think some other people where I actually think Phantom Menace is the best of the first 3.
I mean, I'd need to rewatch them before I say anything.
And I'm excited also, if we're talking about video games, on Nintendo Switch, I think it's May 14th or something. It's later this month. The Pod Racer game from N64 is coming to Switch. Same game, but like high res.
I would say as a kid, the pod racing like didn't connect with me as well. I know it did for you.
Oh man, pod racing rules, bruh.
For some reason, I never. I wasn't as excited as other kids about that one.
That's kind of crazy because I was 10. We were both 10 years old. Like,
I mean, it's not.
There couldn't have been a better time to me to see Phantom Menace.
Right.
I don't think anyone quite loves that movie like a 10-year-old boy does.
I mean, it was sort of designed like that, especially if you watch the history of the Star Wars toys. That is a very interesting story with some of those things.
Now, I can't recall when you played the Star Wars RPG. Do you have those? Do you have a physical book, or someone else had it?
My brother had it, and he's here. I don't know
Does
if
he
he
have
might have
them?
because he didn't bring. He tends to store all his stuff here at our home.
So
So
maybe
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
potential thing. We could try to do it. We keep saying it's a shame you didn't get to do it. Maybe we should do it. Or
And
if not that, even just buy like a PDF of a different version of it if we decide for a future stream.
I'll have
Could
to
be.
ask him about if he has that laying around here because that actually would be great because I know enough about that to do it. And I think I have just enough Star Wars to make it passable for you. Star Wars knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it could be like when we play D&D. Our friend Garrett knows
Oh no,
the.
I'm talking about lore. I
No,
don't,
I know, but I think it's similar. He like knows the DM's guide front to back. So sometimes so it could be like that kind of a thing where maybe once in a while you'd be like, oh, what does this mean? But I don't think you even really would need that much. I mean, it's Star Wars.
yeah.
Yeah, I see. Let's get into it. Elias said that his biggest problem with Last Jedi was when Rose starts talking about why they should not sacrifice themselves, and then General Holdo, I'll refer to her by her proper name, sacrificed herself. I could see why like that could be considered a contradiction in terms of the themes of the movie. Certainly from a character perspective, I mean, those two characters simply have different ideologies, I would argue. Like they don't really actually spend any time together throughout the whole movie, so it's not as if they need to be in line with each other.
I love this was going to be a chess. We were like, we'll play multiple games. We played one and one do Star Wars talk. Not that I'm anything against that.
I think this was the best outcome.
It really was. So I'll just, before you continue, just explain the last rule in case anyone's curious.
Yeah. By the way, spoilers for Last Jedi.
Oh, yes.
Imagine watching an hour plus of this and haven't seen all the Star Wars movies.
Oh,
Continue.
Man. With the exception of the Brute, has to start in the middle circle. All the other pieces, unlike chess, you choose where they go. It doesn't explain whether you take turns, which I can understand being like, oh, he put his scout in the center, so I want to put my scout here. But there is also that kind of shuffle randomability that it allows for.
Yeah, you could house rule some of this, I'm sure.
Honestly, I think you should. I think there's potential.
Yeah, we played the Sabak game too. Talk about that.
I will say, I mean, partly because it's poker-ish. It's much closer. I think that, and they can play with more people, so I think I enjoyed that a little more. The only problem being they're not allowed to talk about gambling.
Right.
It absolutely is better if you throw in, like, you don't have to put in real money. You can just have chips.
It is strange. I guess that is, I think you're right. I think they did it because they're selling it at a theme park, but like it's in the movies that you're promoting. Why would you?
It is, but it's one of those things like selling a pack of poker cards. They say it's poker. They don't tell you chips.
Right. But you could easily just say, just bet chips. You know what I mean?
It's
like
Disney,
you don't have to.
It's one of those things of like.
I mean, part of me wonders even if it.
We're right now on YouTube where there was a whole thing about whether a video should be for kids or not.
Like, I wonder if maybe even it didn't even go that far. If they just didn't even put that much thought into it. They're just like, oh, was there betting? I forgot because I just made these rules in 10 minutes.
Not gonna lie. That is a reasonable.
It's a possibility.
Yes.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, May the 4th. Did you know? Also, by the way, today is my dad's birthday. I never made the connection before today that his birthday's on Star Wars Day. But right before we started the stream, I was in a Zoom call with him, having a little birthday party with some of my family. So nice.
You've been missing over 30 years of opportunities to consider your dad Darth Vader.
Well, yeah, it's true. It's a shame. It's a shame. I'll make up for it over the next 30 years, which I'm sure he'll have a healthy long 30 years from now too. All right. I mean, this has been fun. We talked a lot about Star Wars. We came up with some good ideas. There's some more chatter about Akbar and other things going on in the chat. But you know what I want to watch is I started, but then I fell out of it. The Clone Wars cartoon, because they have the new season that's currently ongoing of it, and people love it. And I should get back to that because I want to see it. I feel like that is that's canon, but it's just always been a blind spot for me as a huge Star Wars fan. I never got into the shows.
Well, part of it is just it's always
outside of Mandalorian.
I'm sure for you, even like it's always when it comes to a TV show, when it's not on a streaming service, sometimes it's like, oh, I don't watch that channel or I don't have it. So if you don't like already are on to whatever channel it is, so like I think it was Cartoon Network the show was on.
Yeah.
So like if you weren't watching something else already on there, you might not think to tune into it.
Right.
So now that it's on the streaming service, you can go like, great, episode 1, let's do this.
Yeah, except the way I watched it.
Right. Isn't there like a machete cut kind of deal?
This is the whole thing that I still truly don't fully understand. But the episodes of Clone Wars are not aired chronologically. And I am still not totally sure if it's a creative choice. Some people said that it was like a decision by George Lucas that just messed things up.
Yeah, how many times recently has decision by George Lucas turned out well?
So there's a list online that I was following when I started watching the show, and I got through maybe the first season-ish. But it's like you watch like 2 episodes from season 1, and then you watch like 1 from season 3, and then you go back. Like it's an insane... And like this, because the way that it works is there will be story arcs that are contained between like 3 or 4 episodes, but then sometimes they'll randomly go back to that episode like a season later, and it'll be like this character that died is now alive again. It's weird. So I was trying to watch it in that method. I don't know what's correct. Elias said that his dad's birthday is also today, which is nuts. Happy birthday to all the dads. And then Kevy B pointed out that the May the 4th thing is somewhat recent. So yeah, that's true. That didn't really become a thing until like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I don't think. Probably when the Disney movies started coming back is when they
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. Do we talk about Star Wars enough? We got to demonstrate Dejarik a little bit. It is what it is. We'll see if my feelings change on it when I get to play it in person.
Right, and maybe we'll do an actual review of it with crits and misses.
Yes, I hope we do get to do that along with Sabak. We had planned on having that come out, as you said, today. That was months ago we made that plan.
Because we thought we'd be in person to play this more.
Yeah, that was the goal. That was the hope and the dream. But I think we're going to call it quits here for tonight. Hopefully everyone's having fun. Go watch some Star Wars movies or something. And if you ever get the chance to go to Disney World again, I would recommend Galaxy's Edge. And maybe picking this up if you're a huge Star Wars fan. But you'll have to wait and see if we review it, what my final thoughts are. I don't know. Any final words for the folks? May the Force be with you.
No. Like I said, we hope you enjoyed this. If you actually want to hear more on our thoughts on the Star Wars movies, you can join our Patreon. We have plenty of podcasts there for you to go through on other stuff. We talk about all the other nerdy things we do. And I think our Star Wars talk was in a full podcast just about the Star Wars movie.
We had a whole, an hour plus episode just about The Rise of Skywalker. And maybe if you liked the movie, don't listen to it.
Spoilers.
But other than that, please check that out. That would be nice. And we were happy that you could join us. Whoa! And if you're watching this after the fact, comment and let us know what your favorite Star Wars board game is and what we should play. Maybe if there's this particular portion of the RPG you'd like to see us play on stream that you think is better than any of the other ones. I don't know.
Yeah. So until then, I'm Will.
I'm Jonathan.
And this has been a Roll for Crit live stream. Thanks for joining us.
May the Force be with you. Always.